Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today we're going to talk about the major trends and shifts in cybersecurity in the year 2025 so that you can keep up the pace with the trends and how you can upskill so that you become job ready. Right, so we'll majorly cover some of the key trends such as the integration of AI and machine learning in cybersecurity, as well as also the advent of zero trust architecture. So if this video interests you, make sure that you keep watching. So first of all, we'll discuss the first trend, which is actually the advent of AI plus machine learning in cybersecurity. So what are the three major benefits of the integration of AI in cybersecurity? First of all, as there's vast n number of data that cybersecurity analysts or associate analysts they need to analyze on a daily basis. So crunching in the numbers could be difficult, but through AI you can actually crunch in vast database. And then if we have to find any anomaly in the data, and proactivity can also be stimulated through AI. So if you want to be proactive in detecting vulnerabilities, okay, so these are some of the major, shifts in cybersecurity with the integration of AI. So further in this video, we are also going to learn what's the beneficial certification that you can go for if you want to, become job ready and be a great fit in the market through learning AI in cybersecurity. Now let's talk about some of the major benefits of the integration of AI with the current cybersecurity landscape. So let's quickly write here the benefits. So the number one benefit is actually, looking after these hybrid cloud environments, where the AI mechanism could actually detect, if there are some potential cyber attacks that could happen. Because, since everything has been shifted to remote systems and the organizations are opting for cloud security infrastructure, it's really important to have a foolproof system. So AI has actually, for example, some of the major AI tools through IBM, these can combat all those cybersecurity threats that could potentially happen. So how these tools actually function, they would look for any kind of anomalies, right, in the systems. And they can also detect, all the vulnerabilities and cybersecurity threats in real time. So there's real-time threat detection. And one of the best upside of AI integration is cybersecurity is actually the accuracy of the data or accuracy of the threat predictions. So, with the advent of AI, of course, cybersecurity professionals can benefit substantially, and they can be more accurate, in detecting threats. So, let's talk about the second benefit. Now, the second benefit is actually, regulating all the user access and needs. So, how does this actually work? Let's see. So what happens is that through these AI models, they can actually filter all the login attempts that are made in an organization by different individuals. So what happens is these AI models, they get fed on all the behavioral data. So, these AI models can actually monitor what kind of activity a certain user is making. And then based on that, that AI model can make a decision and do predictive analysis. So what happens is one of the major upside of doing this is that it can reduce up to 90% of cost of fraud. Okay, so 90% reduction in the cost of fraud, right? So all these AI models can help that. So if someone's activity has been suspicious, the AI models can block the activity, and then further they can be, counterintuitive in such situations. Now let's talk about the third benefit. So third one is actually, minimizing threats. And further strengthening the security posture. So if there is certain kind of, malwares or any kind of, malicious attacks that could happen potentially in a system or in an organization, the AI models or the AI integrated tools, they can actually identify those threats and they can combat so that, the organizations or the data, that it doesn't get breached. Now that we've talked about AI and machine learning, now let's talk about second most important, adoption of the technology that's happening around cybersecurity. So the second most important concept is actually zero trust framework. So if you're an aspiring cybersecurity analyst or a cybersecurity engineer, the zero trust framework is a very important concept. And it's getting popular day by day because of the adoption of cloud computing and, shifting to remote work. So the zero trust framework, what it actually exhibits is that it trusts no one. So basically it trusts no one. Okay, so just to sum it up or to easily, frame this in a simple language is that this framework, it actually trusts no one, and it considers that all of the login attempts that are, taking place by any kind of user in an organization, they could be potentially dangerous. So what happens is, so the zero trust framework, it verifies each login attempt made by the user, and at the same time, it verifies it. So it's basically taking over the perimeter-based, user access. So the perimeter-based user access is going obsolete. So the zero trust framework is what has given rise to the zero trust architecture. So the zero trust architecture forms a major part in the cybersecurity landscape, and you should be, familiar with this concept as well. So now you must be wondering that how can you actually integrate, all these concepts of AI and zero trust architecture in your existing skills. So that is where the certifications come in. So talking about certifications, let's talk about one of the most popular certifications you can go for if you want to integrate AI in the cybersecurity skills. So the certification is none other than the EC Council's Certified Ethical Hacking version 13. So if you want to know about it, you can go ahead and keep watching. Now let's talk about the EC Council's CEHV13 certification. So what is CHV13? So this is the certification that covers the offensive side of cybersecurity. So, okay, now let's talk about what is offensive side of cybersecurity. So basically what happens is here the cybersecurity professional, he acts or behaves like a hacker, but in an ethical or legal way. One must be wondering how. So what happens is the cybersecurity professional, they are going to simulate an attack on the systems, and then they're going to see the consequences. And based on that, they can actually proactively create, some of the threat detection systems, or, anti-threat detection systems and strategies, so that they can, defend the organization from potential cyber attacks or malicious attacks. So, the Certified Ethical Hacking version 13 is the latest version of the ethical hacking certification. So, how does this connect to the current scenario of AI and machine learning? So, the best part about it is that the certification, it comes in and teaches you the AI capabilities. So here you can learn about all the AI tools and the integration of AI in the cybersecurity threat scenario, so that you can become more, job ready and in demand. Because a lot of people, they are not really handy with the current AI tools. So the best part would be to learn, and go ahead with the CHV13 certification. So by now you must be familiar at how important it is to actually, go ahead and upgrade yourself. So CHV13 is an amazing resource for that. All right, so now let's talk about what's actually covered in the CHV13. So in the so the basic overview would be that it covers over 550 attacking techniques. And the best part about the certification is that it is globally recognized. So no matter where you are, whether you are in India or UAE or US, anywhere, it would be recognized by all the organizations. So that is the best part. So talking about the eligibility criteria. So who can do this? It's actually great for anyone who's actually holding at least a graduate degree, or someone who is already working as an associate analyst and they want to upgrade to becoming an ethical hacker. And the desirable package could be around 6 to 8 LP. You can even go up to 12 LP if you are starting out after graduation. So even graduates can do it, right? However, I wouldn't recommend the certification to ongoing college students. But if you are like really keen, you can do that. Okay, so talking about CHV13, what majorly the topics that are covered is, first of all, obviously the introduction part, so introduction to ethical hacking. Then you'll also learn about the major, cybersecurity threats. So what are the different kind of malicious attacks, such as malwares, and you'll also learn about SQL injection. Then the major topics are footprinting and reconnaissance. Okay, and then you also cover Internet of Things and operational threats hacking. So these are some of the few topics that you are going to cover. However, there are almost 20 plus modules. So these are some of the basic ones that you are going to go. So that's all about the course outline. Now let's talk about what's actually the exam structure and how you can prepare for it. Now let's talk about the exam details of CHV13. So essentially, in order to get the certification, you at least need to take the knowledge exam. So it is basically an online exam that happens on the ECC online portal. So what happens is that number one, you need to take the we have the knowledge exam. Just a second. However, if you want to get the CH master level certification, you actually need to take the practical exams. So we'll talk about the practical exam later on. Let's first of all, talk about the knowledge exam. So here what happens is there are around 125 MCQs, okay, which you have to complete in a time span of 4 hours. And just to the qualification criteria is, in order to qualify, you at least need to score 60% to 85%. Okay, so this is the knowledge exam, and what is actually asked here is the, the threat detection, and then there's also, threat prevention, and then all the different kind of methodologies are actually, asked in this MCQ-based knowledge exam. So secondly, if you want to go up a notch, you can also take the practical exam. So it is a 6 hours long exam, and there are around 20 challenges. Okay. And then what is majorly covered here are the different, vulnerability techniques, or how, so basically all the practical stuff, how, a DOS attack or DDoS attack, they take place. So that is what is asked in the practical exam. So both of these exams, they happen online. So, based on that, you can either take one of them or you can take both of them. So if you are interested in the CHV13, we actually have our, upcoming batch for the CHV13, where you can learn directly from top 1% cybersecurity engineers. So if you are interested to learn from them, you can actually check out the link in the description or in the comment, and you can enroll in our upcoming batch. So that's all for this video. So you can also comment down there and let us know what's the next video that you want to see, okay? So thank you so much for watching, and stay connected.